Hello, everybody. This is Brad Berger. You can call me Mr. B. And this is my fraction video series that I'm putting together. And this is video one, the start. I know that in mathematics, a lot of people they struggle with fractions. And if you know how to work with fractions, it can make life a lot better in almost any math class. So I thought I'd give you my insight on how to deal with fractions. Essentially, after we're done with this video series, you should be able to work with fractions, know what they mean, add them, subtract them, multiply them, divide them, deal with mixed numbers, things like that. So anyway, first of all, let's just ask the question, what is a fraction? And I'd like to just say that a fraction is a number that represents how something's divided up, okay? So here's example one. Let's start with 1/4, okay? And the top number, and I know a lot of you are gonna know all of this, or some of it, so bear with me. I'm trying to get everybody up to the same level here. So anyway, the top number is called the numerator, and the bottom number is called the denominator. And this line between them is called the fraction bar. It's actually a division symbol. We're dividing the top by the bottom if we wanted to get a decimal number or something like that. But let's talk about what this fraction represents. We're going to have like some whole thing, whether it be a pi or a piece of a number line, something like that. And we're going to divide it up into a certain number of equal pieces. And that's what the denominator is telling you. So the denominator is how many equal pieces we're dividing something up into. All right, so what's the numerator? The numerator is how many of those pieces we want. So you divided up this whole thing into 4 pieces, and we want one of them. We want 1/4 of the whole thing. So how many pieces we want? Okay, let's just do this visually. Here's a pie or a circle or something like that. I think a pizza or something. And we take the whole pie and we cut into 4 equal pieces. 4 equal pieces. And we might even shade the one that we want, and that's 1/4. I really like a number line definition, so let's say this is 1. Here's a number line, here's 0, and the whole thing is 1. Like we had 1 pi, we've got 1 on the number line, and we're going to divide that up into 4 equal pieces. There we go. I divided it up into 4 equal pieces, and this first little mark here, right of 0, is 1/4. Maybe I'll even shade this. This little piece of the number line is 1/4 of 1. Okay, now that we've got that, let's do one other one. Let's do 2/3. So now we're going to divide up our whole thing, whatever whole thing it is, into 3 equal pieces. Sorry, it's not a perfect circle, but you get the idea. And now we want 2 of those thirds. There's one of them, and there's the other one. So that's 2/3 of a pie, if you will. What if we use the number line again? Here's 0, here's 1. We're dividing up the whole thing, 1, into 3 equal pieces, and we want 2 of them. So 2/3 is right there. We could say this, the length of this shaded area is 2/3 of the length from 0 to 1. Okay, well, let's move on a little bit. And what happens when the numerator equals the denominator? Numerator equals denominator. Well, we get the whole thing, right? If we divide it up into 4 things and we want all 4 of them, we've got the whole thing. So we get the whole thing. And that's 1, right? So 4/4. And I put EX as my symbol for example here. Okay, so 4/4, that's 1. We have the whole pie. You know, we got 1, 2, 3, 4 pieces. That's 1. So the whole pie. On the number line, 0. Maybe here's 1. We want the whole thing. So this is 4/4, which is 1. And of course, if the fraction part is division, 4 goes into 4 once. Okay. So let's get some more vocabulary going based on the sizes of the numerator and denominator. So we get something called a proper fraction when the numerator is less than the denominator. This is a symbol that says less than, right? Less than. The smaller end of that little symbol is toward the numerator, and the bigger end is toward denominator. So numerator is less than the denominator. This means that the fraction is less than 1. Fraction has a value of less than 1. Has value less than 1. So example, 1/4, right? Numerator is less than the denominator. Another example, 2/3. Another example, let's do a crazy one. 1,320 over 27,000. 27,000. Okay. Okay. So that's a proper fraction when the numerator is less than the denominator. It means that the decimal number, the number that the fraction is representing, is less than 1. Okay. Then we get something called an improper fraction. I know this is all pretty easy, right? It gets harder, don't worry. but we're starting with the basics here. When the numerator, so basically this is when the numerator is not less than the denominator. Then it would be the numerator is greater than or equal to the denominator. They call this an improper fraction. And it means that the value of the fraction, so the fraction has a value that's bigger than 1 or equal to 1. If they're equal, we already found that it equals 1, right? If it's bigger. So the fraction has a value of 1 or more or bigger. So example, how about 5/4? Numerator is bigger than the denominator. We already saw equal, so I'm not going to put that example up. So we're still dividing the whole things up into 4. So this is a whole thing divided up into 4. We've got 4 pieces, but we need one more. So I've got to draw another whole thing, like another pizza, and shade one more 1/4 slice. So we have 5 of these 1/4s, right? So it's like 4/4. I'm doing a little addition, but we'll get to addition formally later. But 4/4 and 1/4 add up to 5/4. We could do this on a number line, and that's a nice way to view what's going on. 0, here's 1, maybe here's 2, and we're dividing up into fourths. So I'm dividing things up into fourths. So we've got the 4/4 here, and then the extra one. Sorry, they're not all like perfectly equal fourths, but they should be. So, I got 1/4, this is 2/4, 3/4, the 1 is the 4/4, and then we come all the way to here, which is 5/4. So the shaded region here is representing 5/4. Okay. I don't think we need another example, do we? I have one on my notes, 7/2. But we've already spent 12 plus minutes here. Let's quit while we're ahead. And yeah, we'll see you in video 2.